How's it going, everybody? My name is Splattercat, and welcome to the next episode of our Splattercat's Indie Shorts. Today we're going to be looking at a oldie but kind of a goodie, Hoard, a game that lets me revisit that childhood question when asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? A dragon was almost always what would come out of my mouth. What could be cooler than being a super awesome reptile that flies through the sky and burns things to death? Anyways, this game is a competitive multiplayer / single player game in which you take the role of a dragon of whatever color you choose. Yes, there are a wide variety of dragon colors, and you try to master the map before the AI dragons or your opponents do. So in this playthrough, I'd like to take a look at the single player campaign, which, while not as robust as the multiplayer play, is still a good enough example for you to get an idea of how the game works without me having to run in and play against other players, which I am woefully unprepared for. So there's a number of map modes, and we're going to be playing treasure because that's the standard mode. And let's go to a map here and take a look. Let's do a map that has 3 dragons available on it, and this is one that I've never played before, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll explain how the game plays as we go along. As for the color of our dragon, we can select it right here along with the other list, and it's got leaderboards for every single map so you can see what other people are scoring. But in terms of colors, I'm going to go with green because that's my favorite color, and here we go. What are these right here? Oh, these are all DLCs that I happen to not possess, which, you know, I'm not a big DLC guy. I usually don't end up buying DLC, but there is a wide variety available that expand the gameplay and make it a bit more robust. So let's generate our map, and let's do this thing. Let's see if we can be the best dragon that we possibly can. And I really like the way that it generates the map there, how all the blocks fall into place. And we have a limited amount of time, so you'll see at the top it's ticking down from 10 minutes. These little shrines right here spawn power-ups, and the left click allows us to shoot fire. There it is right there. At the top left, you'll see, or the top actually, it just says OBK Splattercat, which is my Steam name. And we'll burn down some of these carts, and each one drops gold. And you'll see there's a little bar below my dragon that fills up. That's how much gold we're carrying with us, and we have a maximum capacity. I'm going to grab that power up, which I think multiplies the amount of gold we get. And we're going to take all of our treasure back to our Horde. And that's pretty much how the whole thing proceeds. Now you'll see that bar below my Horde that fills up right here. As it goes up, we level up as well, which allows us to choose between a number of stats that are unnamed, but I like to call them speediness, burniness, liftiness, and also scales. I don't know, I'll keep that one simple. We'll call that one scales, but my first things that I always like to put in, let's go with burniness and some scales. There we go, because other dragons can be dicks to you. They can attack you and try and burn you, which makes you drop all your treasure and forces you to go back to your home. And so we'll kill them off right there, and I thought he was coming after me for just a second. And as things go along, we'll start talking about the other aspects of the gameplay. Right now I'm going to be really skittish around other dragons, because dragons are very, they're draconian. I mean, there's not a whole lot else you can say there. Now you saw that I knocked his health down all the way, and what that does is it resets your score multiplier. If you look at the top of the screen, as time goes by, without you getting knocked off, your score multiplier goes up. And that means when you go back to town, or back to your cave to drop off the treasure, it multiplies the amount of treasure you're carrying by that much, a very, very useful thing that you always want to have on hand. So you want to make sure that you balance your time fighting your opponents, taking them out, and making sure that they can't get their multiplier up, while at the same time maintaining your own. There are a number of things that can set back your score multiplier, namely getting killed. The other one is being robbed. As the map progresses, you'll see that it gets more technologically savvy. The world grows a little bit and gets used to your presence, and so robbers will come and try and steal from you. Knights will try and come and defeat you. They actually hunt you pretty mercilessly. And then there's a bunch of other mechanics that we're going to look at as soon as they come up, but we're still in the early ages right now, so nothing unique has happened. I'm going to use my level up here, and I'm going to show you another aspect of the game. I'm feeling really sluggish right now. I'm feeling like we've got kind of a pot-bellied dragon, so I'm going to upgrade his speediness and also his burniness just a little bit. And this town right here, you'll see that I'm going to burn it, but I'm not going to burn it all the way down. I'm going to get it to the red here, and I'm going to let it regenerate a little bit. Now, one thing you want to be aware of is that as the town progresses, hey, you jerk. Oh, and he burned us, so there goes our score multiplier. He decided to get into a fight with us as I was trying to take over a town. The AI can be pretty ruthless, actually. They are opportunist little dragon bastards. That is one thing that I can say to you for certain, is they are huge opportunists. Now, you see the bar right here on the left side of the town, or the right side. I never learned my left from my right. But anyways, when it gets up to the top, it spawns an archer. Now, the other thing that you'll notice is that this town now has my emblem above it, a big green emblem. That means that I've conquered it, and that's the point of keeping the town around red health for long periods of time, is it allows you to force the town to send you tribute, which means you no longer have to focus on it. Now, this dragon here is attempting to burn down our town, which, if he actually deals more damage to the town than we have, it ends up flipping the town under his control. So let's drop that gold off there. And so you're constantly trying to wrest control of all these little nodes from other dragons while at the same time trying to give enough attention to keep yours taken care of. Another mechanic, you see that gold right there? It's marked with my emblem. That means that's going to get dropped off automatically from the town, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Now we've got our first knight down here, and he's going to hunt dragons as much as possible. I'm going to increase our carrying capacity, get everything nice and even here, because I don't want to focus on any one aspect any more than another. Now, just like with towns, as these castle keeps right here level up, they also get this little bar that spawns knights, and then they get bigger. You'll see that I just captured a princess from that cart. Now I have to hold this position before a knight shows up and tries to rescue her. If I pull it off, I get a giant sum of gold, and you'll see they all rush to come save that princess. That guy's gonna try and swipe. Ah, you little bastard. He swiped all of my gold right there, and he reset my timer, so we're not doing very well. They're actually playing pretty aggressive with us. They're coming after us pretty mercilessly, and so there's a lot of things to balance in this game. You've got to make sure that you're actually taking care of holding down the farm, as it were, and that dragon's going to come back and try and fight with me. And you'll notice that the archers don't attack him from towns that he controls either. And so I'm going to try and flip this town over and get it under my control while at the same time dodging him. We're going to use our Speedy Boost EX right there, and hopefully we can flip this thing over without getting ourselves into too much trouble. And there we go. Now it's my town, and he's going to have to deal with that fact. And I'm just going to outrun him. And he burned it down altogether. The white one over here, Genghis, I don't know if they're named after their personalities, but he is definitely being super aggressive. So I'm going to focus on Genghis for now because the other one hasn't bothered me at all. I'm going to focus on upgrading myself to probably do a bunch of damage next because he's just being a jerk to me and I just don't like him very much. So I'm going to focus my attention on Genghis. All of the dragons have pretty interesting names. There we go. Get ourselves a little bit more burniness so that we can cause a bit more damage. And I know that I kind of burned up my own cart right there, but it's okay for now. I just needed to get rid of those knights before they rescued the princess. We're back up to a 3 multiplier. I'm going to run him off. You can steal princesses from each other's hordes. So if you've got a princess stacked away in your horde, another dragon can come and steal it if you leave for too long. There we go, and Genghis, you big jerk, I'm going to take you out right now. There we go, reset his score multiplier because he deserves it. He has not been kind to us. Now the yellow guy, the sheriff, hasn't been bothering us very much. And is this town still under my control? It is not. So let's go get that back under my control because you always want to have at least one town that you're controlling. If you don't have that, then what do you have in life? If you don't have minions sending you gold, like we're trying to accumulate a pile of gold right now that would make Bill Gates blush. So if we don't even have our own town, what does that say about our abilities as a dragon? Not a whole lot. So let's drop that princess off, and I don't think any of the knights are going to get here in time. So we're going to try and chain princesses right now as quickly as possible, and we leveled up again. I'm going to increase my speediness because I'm feeling a tad sluggish from all of the gold we've been carrying. And this time I'm going to have to stay and defend my horde, and you can see that those knights hit you pretty hard when they roll up on you. But it's okay, we had to guard our territory anyways. Now I am going to get a wee bit aggressive with this Knights Guild down here and try and get rid of it because I feel like it's multiplying knights a little too quickly. We're going to reset. Oh, I thought what he was carrying was his health. Damn, I thought he was in the yellow. And I was thinking he's being pretty brave to attack us while he's in the yellow, but that was just me seeing the wrong thing. Now this right here is a wizard's tower, and it shoots at you with giant crazy magic bolts. But if you can destroy it, it spawns a massive gem that you can then carry off with you, which is worth 3,000 gold. And if you have a huge score multiplier, those are really, they even out the gameplay. They definitely even out the gameplay. So we want to start carrying around some gems if we can because the sheriff is beating us like crazy right now. He is just beating us like mad. He is going Chris Brown upside our head. And so let's burn down this tower, and I'm not getting close enough unfortunately, but I don't want to get nicked by one of those lightning bolts either. Now there is a stipulation to picking up these gems. They are very, very heavy, and other dragons can come mess with you while you have them. Now you can do the same thing to them, and I think Mr. Yellow there is going to try and get at us. Genghis, there we go. And so you see that put us almost into the lead, almost. but almost isn't. Almost only works in horseshoes and hand grenades, so I'm going to increase my carrying capacity a tad, and we're still, let me do this last load of gold, we'll take this one back, and once we get this taken care of, we'll focus on getting more gems, because we are behind right now with the sheriff, so I don't want to lose on this playthrough, I actually want to win, I want to look good. There we go, it swapped us over. So let's go knock out this mage tower over here, now that we're a bit faster and a bit more agile. I am going to, ooh, there are a lot of archers around this place. So let's abduct princesses instead. They're worth like the same amount. And I'm just going to carry her with me until I get enough gold to make it worth it to go back to my little lair. And we are drawing all kinds of nightly attention instead of daily attention. Oh no! I don't think that actually hit, but what happens if that happens is they actually just take these guys back to their castle, and it pretty much just screws up your day. So there we go, we're full up again, and back to drop off. We did lose our score multiplier, which is going to hurt us very, very much. Maintaining the score multiplier seems to be the #1 thing that you want to focus on. I am going to burn down these knights' castles. You do, in some respects, want to let them upgrade a tad, because they allow you to get better princesses that are worth more money. On the other hand, they also spawn better heroes, and so you got to watch out for that. And so we got our princess back. You saw that he tried to snipe our princess right there. Kind of a jerk move, but it's okay. We got her back. And now we're going to kill her knight, so there will be no hero this time, and we dinged again. So let's get more armor, because I'm noticing we're taking some pretty nasty taps here and there, and getting one-shotted is a fun deterrent for me right now. I'm finding myself being like, no, don't hit me, and running away every time something comes up. And let's grab this princess for good measure while we're full up on gold. The one thing that's good is if you're full up on gold, you don't really have to worry about going slower. If that happened, it would just be all kinds of nasty, because then every time you were loaded up with Skrilla, you'd be in a really bad position. And we're still maintaining this town over here, it looks like, based on our fiery coercion. And I am going to take out this tower, I think, get ourselves a little bit more gold. But what's going to happen when we do this is we're actually going to drop what we have on hand. And I hope the yellow one over there just tries to flip our town, because this 5,000 gem is going to put us in the lead solidly. And so there it goes. Our health was pretty low, so that was a really risky move on our part. He could have rolled us at any moment. But we succeeded, and as long as we succeed, it's great success. And so we'll get that. And you can't carry gold and gems at the same time, just so you know. It makes you drop whatever gold you have on hand. If you indeed... Hey, buddy. Don't start a fight with me. I'm at full health. You're pretty beat up. Now, let's take out this tower here, and there was also a rogue headed for our territory. I'm going to flip that right there. And then I'm going to burn this bad boy down. And then what I'm going to try and do is turn this in. We picked up a gold up multiplier, so I'm going to try and turn these in before time runs out. We may not get it all put away, though, so there we go. And that is how the game flows. Now, there's other gameplay modes, such as Princess Rush to see who can capture the most princesses, and a time survival mode, where basically the map, you don't have a horde anymore. The map just spawns endless enemies at you, and you just have to survive for as long as possible. And those are graded not on the amount of gold you collect, but rather how long you survive. And some of those can be completely ruthless. So that being said, what you saw before you was Horde. I hope you enjoyed this Splattercat's indie short. I would highly recommend this one if you're into the PvP gameplay and just generally messing with other players and ruining their lives. All that said, my name is Splattercat, and I will see you guys next time. Take care out there, everybody.